I just want to pinpoint that obviously all these are Curia, and they all came up at once. They went and got Ron, who I'm not sure because I don't watch Ricardo's anymore, but I don't think any of these people have been over at Ricardo. That's what he says anyway, if you can believe anything that he says. So I literally went back over there just to confirm, since I saw he was on. I thought it was the best time to confirm to have a discussion. He was the one who put forward having a discussion. He was the one who offered to give me his channel. So I went round to confirm on that. When I got over there, I saw that Curia was already working him. Already giving him his marching orders, telling him what he could and couldn't do. And then you see this full explosion. When I come on, he puts up like no less than like 3 or 4 accounts. It must be, if not more. And then afterwards, he's really quickly going straight in. I mean, this bit here where he's like, when all else fails, kiss your channel goodbye, CP cunt. Oh my god. You know what I mean? Like, that's trolling. That's their trolling. So yeah, these are the people, and they just go straight into calling me a cunt. You know, I literally went in. I think you can say I was so-called aggressive to one person that over Mushu because they came in and they started saying stuff about me in the midst of all these other accounts having a go at me, and I'm like, who the fuck is this as well? They don't even know me. Oh, John. That's all that was. So yeah, not E King. I think I know who you are, and if you're who I think you are, I'm keeping my eye on you just to let you know. I think I know who you are. Yeah, so happy birthday to you, Owumushi and Ricardo. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. All of those guys are not invited. When it comes to Ron, I will block him. Because he's just an NPC, and anything he brings to the table is just call and response. The same. I mean, I could make a bot which has got more variety and more intelligence than Ron. Yeah. For the chat, if you want, we could do a Ron bot, and you won't even miss him because he's just the same, absolutely the same, and a bit of racism. When all else fails with Ron, chuck a bit of racism in, chuck a bit about women. I mean, where's your new channel? Welsh woman. Like, what is that? What are you saying by that, Ron? That's reasonable. Is that trolling, is it? Is that just a bit of fun, is it? Welsh woman. It reminds me of when they caught Angus Deaton. When they caught Angus Deaton with some prostitute, and it was a big scandal. And he was like, and his thing was like, you're one beautiful black woman, and everyone took the piss out of him for it, because that's what he was saying. It's just really. She want a nuke the channel. Anyway, Ron. See now, see, look at him here. This is cute. This ding ding. TKS, YCP attacking random people and pretending to be a different account. All the people she's been contacting are just retro gamers. Yeah, just running these narratives, trying really, really hard. He is on one at the moment. He even says, oh, like you were doing at tours earlier. Oh no, Curia, I'm talking to someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? This is trolling. Is this trolling? Is this the battle of who could care less, is it, Curia? You're bringing out all your fucking accounts, and then you're going, oh, I saw you here earlier, and I saw you there earlier. And his other version of trolling is earlier. You know, he gets so triggered by sandbagging. It's fucking hilarious. And honestly, I don't have to exist. I don't have to do anything apart from exist. This is the first time I've been able to talk to any of these plebs in a very, very long time. It's only because Ricardo came over to Red Bulls, and I'm finishing off that conversation. But which I think is only polite, really. But my God, like, to And so I put up a thing about, I put up a mirror, Sam Vacuum mirror, which is actually targeted at one of my doxers, which is Captain N, also known as the Legend of Life, the Duckman. He is now Indiana Jones. He's now Star Trek Wars. And he is a full-on doxer. He doxed me straight away, like he did tonight. And he also put his own name in my comments. I've got proof of that, and there is no way I would ever go forward with someone's real name unless they've done that themselves, which he did. So there we are. But yeah, he's a full-on doxer, and they're getting him and manipulating him as well. So, why did I bring him up? I can't even remember, but yeah, they're all running it together. And his version of trolling is, the reason I bring up LOL Duckman is because the Sam Vacuum video that was mirrored today was about him. And it came out basically just as he turned up on the scene. I remember seeing that video when it came out and being like, oh shit, oh my word. And literally, as that video came out, he decided he'd got in with me one day. And then the next day, I was like, it was like 1 or 2 days later, and he was just on the phone to me all the time, trying to condition me, trying to talk to me all the time. He was crying about paste, crying about how they were clipping his voice, crying about all the mistakes he'd made with this woman, trying to make out that he'd not been stalking me, not been studying me to try and get into this community. And anyway, I just said to him, oh yeah, well I'll talk to you later, I'm going to go for a breakfast with my mate. And you wouldn't, and I just assumed, like any other adult, like even someone who was being very clingy like him, that I would be able to just like maybe ring him back in a few hours. But no, because he knew I was having a breakfast with a friend. He was ringing me up constantly. I just ignored him, sending me messages, and then it was like threatening. Was he threatening? It wasn't. I don't know if he was threatening to kill himself, but he was threatening like harming himself. He was like, like putting on the serious guilt trip. I didn't even know this guy. I remember turning to my friend at the time and being like, oh shit, look at this. And my mate was like, that's some red flags. My friend is male as well, so he was like, he had a bit of understanding for that as well. It was just a funny time. I'm sat there with a big fucking breakfast, enjoying my chat with, and going, oh yeah, all this crazy shit is happening right now, and letting him know about it. And this guy's just ringing my phone off the hook the whole time. And that was like the very, very start of it, and he really thought he had some like connection on me. Anyway, so that video dropped when I was outside having a fag after that breakfast, and so I was just like, fucking hell. So that's what that video is. But Curia did not like it today. And well, anyway, he was already on one. I don't know why, but I was going to do an update anyway, which I will do a more thought through update than just this little video, this little recording now. But yeah, because I've been meaning to do something, but actually I have been super busy. I've been doing loads of fucking gardening, apart from if it wasn't so fucking cold, because they've been spraying fucking chemtrails for the last few days. So it's like, oh, we're allowed a certain amount of sun, but at some point we don't. They say we're not having enough, It always falls on my day off. So I did a bit of gardening today. I had some errands and shit to run. But I did keep putting off doing a bit of an update, so I suppose that's what this is. But I will do a bit more of an in-depth one, because I have been remitting that. But yeah, Curia's just been off the fucking charts lately, and you just gotta wonder why. And I always, it's not the what, it's the why. It's the why are they doing this? Do you know what I mean? Oh, they're talking about normal shit now. But why? Why were they doing this? Why did he have to go off like this? Why was he over at Ricardo's controlling and all that shit? After not being there. You see, Ricardo said himself he's never even there. I find that very interesting. And look at him bringing up Sam Vacuum. He is obsessed, and that isn't the first time he's brought him up tonight. He doesn't realise how fucking nuts. Because she's too much fun. He's having so much fun. Yeah, because he likes to. Like, if you look at it from his perspective, I mean, it is clear as day. I don't need to convince anybody of this. It is as clear as day this guy is a stalker and a psycho and absolutely over the rainbow. This is not trolling, right? He dresses it up and it can look like it, but it is just the most bitter and twisted, just the sourest sounding and tasting stuff. There's no messing about with someone who goes on a channel. This is one of his versions of trolling. You know, I put up this Sam Batman video today. He goes on, leaves a load of messages that are all like passive aggressive and bullshit, right? Not even trolling, but fair enough. It could be his passive aggressive way of trolling. But then he deletes his fucking messages afterwards. That's him. That's his trolling. Calling me a cunt. That's trolling. You know what I mean? Ricardo's doing it better because at least he wants to continue the conversation and have the to and fro. Whatever that ends up being. Do you know what I mean? And he's there going, oh, thank you. I always get it. You know, I always got it. Yeah, Curia is. Yeah, because you've got nothing without me. I Curia because you've literally hitched your wagon to my fucking donkey. And that's all you've got now, isn't it? Because your life is run by women, and you just look to women for everything, obviously. Because you just can't survive without it. You just stand a corner on your fucking Game Boy without it. It's sad. Whereas, with Ricardo, yeah, he's a screw, but, like, he's giving something back for once. He's not just being this total screw where he blocks everybody and pretends that he's the victim. Hopefully we can put an end to that. I gotta pull out.
And you see, people like Curia, they will just take advantage of that. They just massively take advantage because they're just online 24/7. And when he sees that I'm not there, then that's when he starts his trolling, his high-level trolling. And it's just proven to me that he's a sad bastard, because when I first met him, I thought he was a troll. And I realise now he's not. He's just like, what do they call it? Is it a phagocyte? A type of cell, a type of white blood cell, it is. And I suppose it is because all this stuff comes from defensive behaviours. But that's another story. But yeah, just the sort of thing, it just like absorbs and ingests people. And he'd absorbed and ingested quite a few people on the anti-Amico side of things, because he needed some meaning in his life. He needed something to give him meaning. And so that's what he was doing. And what he does is he goes and he just like consumes people and eats them. And he just and then that's what I saw. And when I met him, I thought he was this creative troll, but you see, he just attached himself to evil and started consuming evil, and I was loving evil. So of course I liked Yuriko, of course I liked Curia, because he was eating evil, and he was sounding like evil and doing evil type things. So of course I liked him, and I got on with him, and I thought he was a troll. But, well, don't have to take my word for it, dear. Just look at the actions. Just look at the actions of that person. Every single fucking account on there was him. I think there might have been one Dorshin one that might have turned up later, but every single one was him. All talking to each other like they didn't know each other. He's been really encouraging Captain N as well, who is a confirmed doxer, who did dox me. And that's apparently the reason why Curia knows my name in the first place. Well, whether or not that's the case, or whether it's because Evil had already told him, which is probably what I think has actually happened. But either way, yes, he, Captain M, went on my comments and put his name all over them. And so I did use his name back at him, because he'd gone over all of my comments and put his name on them publicly. But what he'd also done is he'd gone in straight away, like he did with the other woman, one that Paste will not inform that this guy's doing it again. Maybe that's because he wants to protect her. Maybe not. I don't know, but again, another story. Yeah, so he went and did exactly the same thing with me. He did exactly the same thing at the drop of a hat. This guy's really sad, and so he was over there and he blocked me at Ricardo's today. And you saw him. This guy is like, he's another level. He is another level of it because he's not from our community as well. So as much as Kuya is just this absolute psycho pretending to be a troll, which this is just my thing that I do is I show people doing things like that. And it's not just even in the troll community, it's in all communities when you've got these chameleon type people who find a bit of a grey area, a bit of an extreme environment for one reason or another. That's why the other thing I do is like the extreme exotic tourism sort of stuff, because in those extreme environments you get very interesting behaviours and you get people hiding out and they come out and they've been hiding out behind this thing for a long time. So that's what I saw with Q, and I just have fun doing that. Part of the journey, I would never take his shit, you see. Well, I did for a while, and when I stopped taking it, well, we saw the fallout, and we saw it today. He still won't leave it alone. He's like, oh, why'd you go back to Ricardo's? Why'd you go back to Ricardo's? Well, because he wasn't part of the conversation, was he? And he would have hated it, and that's why I think he's been on one, because Ricardo came over to Red Bulls and had a conversation with other people without him being sat on top of it. And as much as he'll pretend, and he probably won't ever admit that that's the thing that's triggered him, that is the thing that's triggered him, is his giant FOMO. That FOMO is a hell of a drug for Kyria. So there he was, all the way over, and he said earlier about how he's been stalking me on other channels earlier as well, while in the same sentence telling me I've got no life. Don't really matter, you can think what you want, don't you? If it makes you feel better, Kyria, that's absolutely fine. But yes, I've got a couple of hours per day, especially on my days off. The other days, I'm fucked. I can't do anything. That's why another reason why I think he's pushing it. I think he's just pushing it because he knows that I'm not around. And the Creeping When You're Sleeping song came out of the fact that they will only do it when I wasn't here. And the fact that there's a chance that me and Ricardo were going to have a conversation without him brokering it was enough to send him into a full frenzy, as we saw tonight. And I just wanted to point out, basically, so I've had all these technical problems with my fucking phone and the actual recording that I tried to do, which will make it all a bit longer. Because on these things are never as easy as it appears. And so I just wanted to point out just what we saw there tonight before they rewrite it and all the rest of it, because what he's also trying to do is, and this is the thing that happens, is that even when someone has called out someone else for behaviours, people will attribute that negative behaviour to the whistleblower a lot of the time. And that's what he's trying to play on with me, with all these accounts with my name on, to try and just mind control and brainwash all these people. It's just very interesting to see. And it's like so small time that it's interesting to see, isn't it? It's like I've said many times before, but I'll repeat it because there might be people who've not heard it before. But yeah, this is the dojo, this is the sea monkeys, this is the monsters in your pocket, small version of the bigger world, where you've got massive psychos of the cut from the same cloth as Kyria, on the big fucking mind control mission, on the fucking psyop all the fucking time. And so it's very interesting to see it from a sort of individual human basis of like, this is how a human gets to that stage. This is what those sort of people operate like. These are the methods that they use. Have a look at it in your local news. Have a look at it in your newspapers. You will see similarities to even just tonight with the very quick, the load of fake accounts and just straight away, so I can't say anything. First off, I was banned, blocked for 10 seconds by Captain N because he is the weakest. And so yeah, I went off on a tangent. But yeah, I mean, his responses show a lot. He's not from here. And so he came in, he tried to manipulate, he tried to control, and now he's reduced to sitting in the sidelines at Ricardo's, pretending not to be himself, and trying to just block communication. He's not got anything else he can do apart from sort of run interference as best he can and hope that Kuya can run along in his wake and make enough of a narrative to shut me down so I won't come back. That's all he can hope for, because he knows he's in the wrong, and he knows that his past is completely nipping at his heels. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to highlight that, because anyone who's got eyes surely can see that what's just happened there. Maybe you can't. I do want to point out that I came on. I'll just put a flow diagram in, just just to contend with the high levels of spin, the high levels of manipulation, and the high investment that these people have got in shutting me down and all the rest of this weird shit under the guise of trolling. Because he's absolutely desperate to prove to everybody that he is this big troll, because he wants his legacy to continue, doesn't he? He doesn't want to be known as the gang stalker who got so triggered by some woman that he just lost it all online, and followed her around from chat to chat when I'm not even in chat. Like, I would literally do a couple of hours. I went on tours for like an hour tonight at the end of the day while I was having my tea before I went to sleep. And he's commenting on that. That's what I'm talking about. That was in one day. That was my entire YouTube contact in one day. And this is, and you see, and if you look back at what he wrote in Ricardo's, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm only saying that to sort of give some sort of calibration as to where this is, what his energy is onto, like, how much energy I need to put out for him to create as much energy as what he's bringing, is maybe what I'm trying to say here. So the flow diagram goes, I'm having my chat with my friend, completely oblivious to Ricardo. Ricardo had been attacking me for a year, right? And I'm not joking with that. You can check on his channel. Attacking me. He admitted it tonight. You know, he was encouraging Dosh and he's trying to rewrite it. It was all a bit of fun. It was all a bit of fun. He might have seen it as a bit of fun. I'm going to be generous there. He knew it was a job. He knew he was doing them a favour. Evil wanted me out because I knew too much. And instead of just having it out and talking to me like a person, he had to just run this whole production, because unfortunately he's quite a fake person and isn't connected with himself. Or if he is, he doesn't like what he's connected with and he wants to hide from it, sadly, when there's no reason to. But unfortunately some people are like that, right? So that's where he's at. He wanted rid of me because he was scared of of just what could happen, but went about it completely the wrong way and got fucking Captain N involved. And Cuya was obviously manipulating everybody and just playing everybody all the time. And that's because he just wants attention all the time. So anyway, I'm having a completely innocent conversation with Red Bull. We did talk about Ricardo, because he was, at the time we were all blocked on his channel. We weren't allowed to talk or anything, but he kept coming over to Red Bull's, and I think things had changed between him and Evil, and Cuya and all that, and they'd kind of discarded him, except I'd already said that Cuya would still be in the DMs working him. If you guys ever get involved with Evil or anyone like that, if you ever get like the hot and cold, just remember my words for when it. You might not believe me now, but when it happens, remember these words, right? When Evil blows his top or discards you or whatever it is, or starts acting weird, if it all falls apart for some reason, you will still have Cuya in the DMs every single time, and he'll be going, oh, he's just emotional, don't worry, I've got your back, blah blah blah, sending you little clips, sending you little gifs, keeping you laughing, right? He's working every single person. He doesn't let anyone go. So everyone who was there tonight who did get dredged up, they're all people who he's got working, like, in his little DMs and trying to, these little flying monkeys basically. So he's got Captain N, he's got Ron, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever fucking heard, and then for anyone who knows, and then I think that's about it. I think there's not got many left, to be fair. Oh yeah, Buttocks was in there earlier as well. Yeah. So he's got these little DM crew, you know. who are all special, and they're also so touched to be included, aren't they? Because a lot of them have been ostracised now. Either in Buttock's case, he's chosen to ostracise himself, or in other cases because people just, they either call them out for just being a tool of Curious, and people just can't handle it. They just can't handle the truth. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. And that's the thing about the trolling thing, is that you can dish it out, and if the person can take it back and give it back, and not be a little pussy about it, and not just be a liar about it. Oh, for fuck's sake, guys. And not lie about it, and not be a little pussy about it, then that's a troll dance, you know what I mean? That's when you can give and take, that's how it works, and he's hiding behind it with all this shit. Anyway, my flow diagram, I'm getting distracted. I was over at Red Bull's. Now, Red Bull has given me a space to talk, because those guys a few months ago had it so that they were pushing me out, like Huey is trying to do now, pushing me out of every single place going, trying to set me up, trying to set me against people, every single step of the way. Why, if they want me to produce this lol cow entertainment for them, then why are they trying to shut me down to such a level? And it really was the case, and Curia could not stand the fact that I still had support in the community from some people who could still see, because it showed that he doesn't have complete control over people. Of course he doesn't, but he wants to. In his mind, he wants to. He obviously wants to, otherwise he wouldn't be scouring my comment section constantly. He wouldn't be sending loads of messages and then deleting them. He wouldn't be blocking me so he could say all this stuff, curry all these fucking little lies and set all these spins going without me being able to go, excuse me, that's not true because of this, this and this. There's the actions of a weak man. So he's been trying to shut Red Bull down. I mean, they did the whole fucking crazy witch hunt on him, and how he's so fucking crazy you can't listen to him either. It's there if you want to see it. That's it. And so he comes over, he offers me his channel as a peace offering so that he could come on the panel and talk to us properly, to try and get himself back in because now he's getting himself back in the drama, you see, because now he's got the attention of Curia again. And he's got all these people back over at his channel that he'd never had anymore because he's given it all up, you see. But he wants to be able to carry on nice and easy like. So I'm like, let's see how that pans out then. Let's see how that pans out. So I see that obviously I've not been around for a couple of days. As you can tell, I haven't been anywhere. I wrote a message on Ricardo's. That might be the message that he's referring to. See, there you go, Ricardo, this is for you. That just shows you again, because I think you said you left me a message and then you deleted it, so I assumed you weren't interested anymore. So don't think I deleted that. Do you know what I mean? You saw how your little fly monkeys, or how Curious fly monkeys in your channel operated tonight, and you think I deleted my message to you. You know what I mean? No, I've not spoken to Ricardo, and he's contradicting himself in that sense. Like, I would delete all his messages that came in from Red Bulls because he blocked us all. He blocked all of us and stopped us all from talking. He made private streams that we weren't allowed to go to with pictures of our faces all over them. If that is considered trolling, then that is a sad state of affairs that we're in, isn't it? That is like again, it's as above, so below. They don't sell you a chair anymore. They sell you the idea of a chair and it breaks within 2 seconds. You look at fast fashion and all that Temu shit. They don't sell you clothes anymore. They sell you this thing that looks like a top that'll wear for two days or something, and then you have to get rid of it because it's not really a top. It's just held together with webbing or something. It's not like a decent fucking leather jacket that's going to last you forever. I don't know, it's just the changing of the world. It's the changing of the world. If trolling is considered that level, then okay then, you know what I mean? But we came from the anti-begging sort of, we're old-fashioned and we don't like change, and look at how the world's going to shit. And I mean, this is just another example of it in my opinion, and I do think it's congruent with with what this place used to be about at some level, me standing up and saying, you call that trolling? Because that's just sad. That's just sad. Like, going, oh, thank you, CPU, thank you for coming and giving me, not you, this is Curia. But you're like, well, why did you delete all my comments then? So anyway, yeah, I go over, I write the one comment. Like I say, I don't go over there. I think I used to go over, take pictures of the chat and download all the streams and all the rest of it, and I even stopped doing that. Maybe that's why Curia's getting upset, I don't know, but something's definitely put a pound in him this last few days, and he's been operating and going all around the houses and really pulling out all the stops, and I find that very interesting. It's not the what, it's the why, although I do know that I have to outline the what in this space, it turns out, because they're so busy rewriting it and putting a spin on it, that at least I can give you what my perspective of it is. Unfortunately, I have to do that because I can't just skip to the why, because they're spending so much time on the what, and I suppose that's part of the distraction, because they don't want me to talk about the why, do they? So I want to talk about the why with Ricardo on Saturday, and I wanted to pin him down because I know he's a bit of a slippery character, to put it mildly. And so when I saw he was streaming, I went over for the first time in fucking forever, and I go over and he's going, oh, alright, Curia. Oh, maybe I shouldn't give him my channel. Oh yes, Curia. So obviously, it's okay. So I go on, and you can look at my messages unless they've deleted them, which they probably have. And I was just like basically trying to batter down Curia and stop his, because he's very quick on the old straw man. For this new audience as well who don't know me, he'll build a straw man very quickly, chuck a load of shit on it as quick as you like, and that's it. Because I'm not bothered with those little minute details. I want to talk about the deeper shit. He'll just go on these little minute details which apparently titillate people on that low level more than anything that's actually got a root to it. And so he just does all that shit all the time, which is like, you know, it's just window dressing. So that's fair enough, you can get on with that, but I wanted to cut through that and get through to Ricardo, and you can see from my messages, I'm just like, I'm not inviting them, I'm inviting you. I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to you. There was a couple of times where I'm trying to batter down and point out some of Curia's fucking absolute hypocrisies and his blatant showing of himself. And I just wanted to not many people are going to stay through this video to this length, which is fair enough, but the fact is that Ricardo and Evil and all these people, like I started saying before, you're all reaching out to a wider ranging group of people, a way more mixed bag of people than it was round here. Like, round here is like a sinkhole for trolls, and this is another issue which I will bring up at another point, but Captain N and Curia and all the rest of them are guilty of this, and they haven't warned anyone what they're getting involved with over here. They're trying to dilute it and make this like kind of half and half thing, where they get to just take the piss and attack people, attack single mothers, attack their children, call it off as a bit of fun, and also try and get completely random cross-section of society to be their flying monkeys for them. I'm wondering how that's going to work out. And so at this level, the more of a cross-section that they're going for, the less where they're not sort of, their hunting ground isn't just dickheads anymore like it used to be. We were all dickheads down here. We could all take it to some level, or some of them really couldn't, and that was the joke, right? But everyone came in knowing what they were coming into. Now these guys have gone in and just grabbed random strangers off the street to bolster their flying monkeys. And I just wanted to let all these people know that, you know, surely within that cross-section you're going to have some people who have a bit of a brain, you're going to have some people who have eyes, you're going to have some people who have morals and ethics, you're going to have some people who have wives and girlfriends and who maybe see this weak behaviour for what it is. And this is the stuff that Curie doesn't want to show. This is why I'm a witch, this is why I'm a bitch, this is why you shouldn't listen to my voice, because he doesn't want anybody to know this stuff. And everyone on Red Bull and anybody else on Vic and anyone else who ever asked a question, who ever wanted to go deeper than just his lies, don't listen to him. No, don't listen to those people. They're crazy. They're so crazy that people have to make multiple accounts of them and follow them around chats all over the place, because these people are so crazy and so obsessed that they're not on YouTube at all. And very occasionally they might go on, and then they're getting stalked when they're on, for the couple of hours that they are on, because they're so crazy, you see. So crazy living their lives. Basically, you've got such a group of people, such a wide-ranging audience now, that I'm just wondering if every single person there is really going to be under the spell. Are they really going to see that and not see? I was just over there trying to sort out a time and a date for Saturday, which I believe we've achieved. But you see what I get from there, and just to compare that to the ideas that they're selling to you guys. Oh, they're just streamers, it's all about the games, they're just retro gamers, and these random people are just attacking them. Can you see any difference between the two stories there? When I came in, and I think I was standing my ground, because obviously I've got to be vaguely tough to be able to withstand such a shutdown. I mean, the first thing that happened when I got in there was I got blocked. And if Ricardo hadn't been wanting to sort out this thing between me and him a bit, then that would have never been unblocked. That would have been it. But for once, he's wanting to discuss it, which I'm all up for fucking solutions and stuff, and to talk about the past and to see what it was going on in his brain when all this was happening and what his excuses are for that behaviour for those 9 months. That's what I want to know. I want to know it from his point of view. I had my interpretations. I did some videos about what I thought was going on, and I'd be very interested to see what his interpretations were, right? These guys don't want that. Anyway, but that's just my narrative, is that that's my interpretation, isn't it? That they don't want it, given the experience that I had tonight and the actions of Kyria, which are there to be seen. Now, I'd be very interested to see what you guys in the sub community and all you new people make of that, because that will give me indications as to just parts of the human condition, how people's minds work, because you guys are a real mixed bag of people. Yes, you're all gamers, but it doesn't go any deeper than that. You're not all trolls, you're not all dickheads, you're not all misogynist women haters. So I'd be very interested to see how, if it's a case of this group mentality where people are just like, they'll accept it, even though they would never accept that in their real lives. They would never accept someone doing that to someone else in their real lives, whereas a lot of people in this community would probably accept that in their real life, because it's a sinkhole. Like I said, there's a filter. I wouldn't accept it, and that's why I stand up against it, but there's a lot of people who would accept it and who do it and who go around stalking people in real life. So that's the sort of people we've got. Like I said, LOL Duckman, Indiana Jones man, he fucking is a doxer. He's a proven doxer. He doxed that woman in Mr. Matthews' community, and he doxed me. And straight away as well, literally at the drop of a hat, no trolling. This guy's not a troll, he's just a weak bastard. A very sad attempting to manipulate people, who just gets knocked back and just turns into this like crying, clawing piece of shit, basically. And I mean, the actions of the righteous, isn't it? Like changing your name multiple times. I don't need to change my name. Everyone's changing their name to my name. Fucking unbelievable. I don't go around changing my name. You don't hear me crying on the internet. You don't hear me crying about the fact that Tommy was doxing me tonight. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing it out. That's all it is. I'm just pointing out the truth. I don't need to put no spin on it. I don't need to put no fucking production together. This is just me and my voice recorder just saying what fucking happened. As I said to Ricardo at Red Bulls, it's the easiest thing in the world to just point at the thing that's happening right in front of you and just comment upon it without having to put anything on it and worry that that person might, oh no, that one's going to come out if I do this, and oh, I've got to do that and make sure I make loads of accounts to bolster it, to make sure that all these people believe it and all this shit. It's like, there's no investment apart from, I'm just here having straw men made about me left, right and centre, so I may as well just at least put my point of view across of what actually happened. So yes, this is just an appeal to anyone who's not from this troll community, who's around at Ricardo's and Evil's and somehow hanging around with Qia, and definitely from the Captain N, what's his name, LOL Duckman, Indiana Jones, Star Trek Wars, all the names in the world, off on his fucking travels, that dude. There's a lot of people from around there as well, massive mix of people, and these guys are living a double life and living a lie. I just want you to see what happened tonight and contrast that with the story and the characters that they are portraying themselves to be. You saw what they did tonight. That's when they were threatened by me just coming up and saying, hey Ricardo, should we talk about this thing that me and you discussed, completely separate from any of these people? None of those people were there then. Can we discuss the thing that we discussed? Can we confirm the thing that we discussed and sort out a date and a time for our panel? And you saw what they did. So are they just pure and simple retro gamers, innocent retro gamers who are just being attacked by stalkers? Are they? Is that the actions of those sorts of people? Well, okay, I'll let everyone make their mind up and follow the fucking story if you want to see the reality of how these people act. And when you see LOL Duckman crying into his chat saying, oh, people don't like my voice and that's why I don't go on mic. People don't like your voice and that's why you don't go on mic. Okay then, not because people click the fuck out of your voice because you said loads of shit that you don't want following you. There is still in existence voice clips from you from back in the day, and I've heard them now, from when you were in Mr. Matthews' community, when he's talking about having babies all over. He told me one of the first things, and this is just fucking, I'm an idiot, right? So I really did, this is another story, but just to finish off a little one, I really did believe him when he came to me with a massive sob story, exactly the same sob story that he is crying into his chat about now. Just step away for a second, guys, and just look at the reality of someone who is changing their name constantly. When the heat came up, all of a sudden he had a magical round-the-world trip that he just disappeared for a couple of weeks while the so-called heat went off. And the place and the community posts that he put up were to Australia and to the UK. Very creepy considering the person he's got a problem with is from Australia and me from the UK. Okay, right? Just believe him, take him at face value or whatever. But this person who's crying so much now did the same story with me, exactly the same routine as well. He did Donkey Kong, Indiana Jones, DuckTales, he did Battletoads, and he did all these channel names. He did Star Trek. He did them all. He's got Planet of the Apes to go. There's a few more to go, but he's doing that same cycle all over again because he knows that none of you guys have been there from the beginning, so you don't know. You just don't know. It's all like, oh, this is new and novel. Yeah. Oh, did he do Marvel? Has he done Marvel? Yeah, I think he might have done already. Spider-Man, there's another one, but he'll do them all in the same fucking loop. This guy is nuts, right? I don't expect you to believe me on that. But this is the case. This is purely the case, and anyone who's been around long enough knows that this is the same fucking shit. And he's doing the same cycle, which I find that really interesting. Like, it's a completely foreign concept to me, that just going round exactly the same thing, even when he's running and doing his name changes and stuff, he's still going down that same little fucking tick box thing. It's crazy. That's just the way I see it. I see that as crazy, but maybe there's a logic to it that I don't understand. But yeah, this same person, proper sob story to me, and he was like, one of the first things he said to me was, I haven't been studying you. I haven't been studying you. I haven't been studying this community. Oh no, no one had ever said that he'd been doing that, and he just came out with that, and I was like, okay then. And then the second thing he said was, oh, Paste and Mr. Matthews, they used to make terrible clips of my voice, and it was awful, and I encouraged him to use his voice again. You know, we got him the voice changer, and I encouraged him. I had him on my streams. He was on literally nearly every stream I did. At the time I was doing loads of streams before Q shut me down. This is the bit of fun. This is the trolling, just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun. Before you shut me down, I was doing loads of streams. And this guy ended up on every single one of them pretty much at one time. Because I was trying to encourage him and I was trying to give him a chance, and he kept saying he was going to shut down his channel, no one wanted to go to his channel, oh it was terrible, and he put me in a position, he manipulated it into a position where, and he started it off where he wanted me to just walk away from my friends straight away, and I was like, no, who are you? And then he realised, I think, that he is deluded, and he literally had just turned up and he thought he could do that. And then later on he manipulated the situation to put me in a position where he was in such a bad state and had been attacked so much that if I didn't support him, then, you know, I was being a bitch. But if I did support him, then my friends were going to fuck me over, and that was great for them because Evil wanted that to happen, because he wanted me out of his life, because he is the sort of person who shits his bed full and then walks off and lets someone else pick up all the pieces. And I was just like, I see you, my mate, I see you, and I still love you, and I'm just going to hold your hand, and you're going to deal with this, and you're going to get through your avoidance of it, and it's going to be easy for you in the future. And I'm not going to be on top or any of that, I'm just going to be your mate. But he couldn't handle it. He did it for a bit, and then it just got so easy for him not to. There were so many choices, so many opportunities, and so much from Curia, so much pressure from Curia, and he just went for it. So that's kind of what happened there. But that same fucking story from Captain N, Indiana Jones. Oh, they don't like my voice. It's like, no mate, I've heard those videos. So the first thing he said was, oh yeah, there was this joke video. I was just joking. I was just saying I've got baby mamas all over the place, and I was just joking about that. Ha ha ha. And it was like, oh, of course. And I just supported him blindly like an idiot. And then I heard that video recently of him, and that is no joke. That is absolutely no joke. If I can get Lise to use that video, then I will, and I'll show you all. But yeah, like, that was no fucking joke. And the fact that he went on straight away with his play with me to be like, oh, this happened, I'm going to disclose this to you right now, but it's all a joke and I didn't do it, and this person did this and it's all a lie, and you shouldn't listen to this person, and this person's an idiot, you know what I mean? And it was the first thing, and he played such a sob story to me. I felt so sorry for him that I did kind of believe him up to a point. And he did manipulate me, and the more I stood against Curia, then it became all mixed in, because I was like, I didn't really stand up against Curia at that time, because Curia was overtly attacking me, and had been for a really long time, and I got to finally turn around to him. But yeah, like, at this point now, I'm just letting him show himself completely. But I do realise that because of the amount of spin and the amount of narrative that is woven by these people, that I should at least try and put a bit of a flow diagram in. So when I'm at Red Bull's made me a mod in that channel, because it makes, after being shut down so much, it makes that safe for me. It's the Chinless Homies, right? Ricardo wants in because Evil's discarded him. Now I've been over to his, let's see how, if Evil has him back. He might. It changes things up massively. But all we know is that Ricardo, when pressure was put on, when it all fell apart, and I'd already called this, he just wanted his gaming channel to play his games on, and that's it. He likes his bit of drama every now and again, but it can subsist on a bit of drama every now and again and his games. And so he was kind of putting that across and being like, please leave it, CPU, just leave it, leave me out of it. And this was the deal that we brokered, was you come on a panel with me and we discuss it, we can solve it, and then you might not be involved in it anymore. And then he offered to give me that channel, because I said he has to delete it, because it's literally filled of videos made on my name and on lies about me, my child, Vic's child, on all sorts of crying on the internet, and a load of, all named after me, the whole channel. And he's saying it's a bit of fun, but I wasn't allowed any right to reply on those videos. No one that he's slagging off in there was allowed to go on and comment on any of those videos. So it's under the guise of trolling, and they're going to try and rewrite it like it's all a bit of fun. So I was just like, if you want to do that, you can fucking just delete that fucking channel. He said he wanted Dorshin on to discuss things, and he might discuss me occasionally and other people in context and stuff. That would have never been a problem. Never. And this is what they're trying to rewrite, like that's an issue. No, that's what we've always done. You guys hid behind that and targeted one specific person and then anybody who supported them. And it's textbook, and there's fucking reams and reams on the internet of information about people who do that, textbook. And it's all there to be seen, and I'm going to cross-reference it retrospectively because I was never obsessed enough, and I've got too much going on to just do it on the hoof all the time. I'm not dancing to the beat of their fucking drum. Do you know what I mean? So, at my own leisure, I will be cross-referencing all of this stuff, and they don't want that because as soon as I came back, and then we're talking 3 weeks ago, did Q start and did Captain N, LOL Duck, Indiana Jones man start up, and then all of a sudden we got Wisp over at Red Bulls and all these other operatives coming over. We had Buttocks acting all so weird, and then we had Dorshin, all the Dorshin stuff, and they know that on that channel that I'm saying that Ricardo had offered to give to me, they had convinced Dorshin to go off after me and stalk me, knowing that he's an obsessed guy, disabled guy with like a real brain issue, and they set him on the task of stalking me basically. And it got intense. He's still emailing me now. It got intense. I mean, it got to the point where I just threatened him. I just said, look, I can fucking put a police report in at this point because the evidence is there. The police report would not be allowed to be put in if the evidence wasn't there. Do you understand that? Yeah? So there is evidence to prove that this is true cyber stalking that's going on from the Dorshin side, but he's disabled and he's a bit loopy, right? So you can kind of get it a bit, but they set him on that task. And so I wanted to discuss that with Ricardo. Like I say, next thing, I sent him a message on his channel. On his latest video, I put a comment on there. Apparently that got deleted. I never got a response from Ricardo. I see he's on. I go on. I say to him, what time, what date? And that's what I got from those guys. So that's what I'm saying about the flow diagram. Compare that to the stories that they're telling you. Unknown deleted user is LOL man, Indiana Jones man. And he is the one who banned me straight up, right? If he didn't have anything to hide, he would be defending himself. He would be cataloguing his own story. He would be cataloguing his own journey and his own evidence if he had anything to prove. But he doesn't, you see. He runs and hides and blocks me. Again, use your eyes or don't. Anyway, I will take on what Ricardo said in the sense of Saturday night we will have a stream. I will schedule one, and then if Ricardo wants to leave in the comments if the timing is alright for him or not, and we'll go from there. Alright then, hopefully I can put all this together and get that video off my phone without it being weird. Alright then, bye.